There we go. Well, welcome everybody, and sure good to see all of you bright, shiny, happy faces. I know you're thrilled to be here on a Thursday evening where you could be at a football game or at some other at something else or basically watching TV. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here and taking the time. It's our last call that we'll have before the end of this year, and it certainly is one that I think it, I'm happy to have and glad to talk with all of you. We're not going to have a speaker tonight, and I don't expect us to have another speaker for a while. I only wanted to have TJ and Pat come in because I wanted to make sure that you had a good understanding of the GAT, and besides PID, TJ wanted to talk with you, so I wasn't going to be the one to say no. So we'll let him do that. A couple of things that, if you noticed, we had on the agenda. And before I get started, does anybody have a question? Anybody got something they want to air real quick before we get started? I didn't get anything from anybody, so I don't know if anybody wants to had anything they wanted to talk about.
Hey, it's no big deal. This is David, but I spent yesterday in the heart hospital.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I passed all my tests, and they basically told me to get out and don't come back. So, there you go.
That's great.
that's
Hey,
good.
That's good. We're glad to know you have a heart.
Yeah. Well, that was what they were looking for. They were trying to find out for sure.
I'm glad to hear that you're not there. That is great news. That is great news.
I do have one thing, and I talked to Chris about this earlier. When I printed Chris, I did get my SVDG certificate for that training.
Good.
So I didn't have to go through and do the online like it was originally looked like I was going to have to do. So I don't know if anybody else bumped into that, but I did get my certificate this afternoon.
Good. Glad to hear that. Linda heard our conversation a little bit because she was sitting right behind me in the office here, and she made the comment, well, do they actually monitor if you did or did not listen to if you actually had to go on and open it and listen to it again, would they know if you were paying attention? And I'm going to tell you, Gary, the answer would be no. They wouldn't have known it. You're viewing a recording that they don't know if you were on there for 2 minutes or for the full hour when you do that. So, but I'm glad to hear that you did not have to do that. And we're going to talk about the training you guys just got through going through in November here in just a minute. I do have a question that I want to ask you, and I need the feedback from you on this. I try very hard to not send you more than one email a week. Yeah, there may be times I'll send one, or I may send a couple more, only because it's something that has come to me and I need to forward to you, or I just want to make sure that you got it. But in my email that I send, that weekly check-in email, I know that it can get a little long, and I apologize for that. But I don't want to just inundate your inbox, because I know that you have. I know as a second vice district governor, going through those chairs, your inbox is full, or if it's not full, it's getting pretty darn full. Do you find that email to be too long? Do I need to separate it, make it into two separate emails, maybe twice a week? You tell me what do you think? Or do you not even want it? Do you find it to be something that is not of value? So, you tell me, and because I'm the one that's I'm not the one that's got to read it. I know what's there. So,
Chris, I trust your judgment about what we need to know and when we ought to know it. So I have not thought any of them were too long, or too much information in one. I can separate it out if I need to.
Okay, I think
I agree with Brian.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree, because you give us what we need, and if we don't need something, you don't give it to us. That's great. I mean, you stick to the point. You don't, drag it out. You tell us what we need to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I would rather have one email than taking the information and dividing it in half into 2 emails. One would be better for me.
Okay. It's better for me. To be honest, it's better for me because I can do that one email and I work on it during the week, and we get to Thursday and I just pop it out to you on the Thursday morning. With the exception of last week, and it was a little later in the day. The reason that I asked that question is that a couple of you have made a comment uh, about getting some reimbursements on travel that you've done going to clubs within your district, and submitting those claims to your district for reimbursement, or maybe to your club for that reimbursement. That is not the case. Lions Clubs International will reimburse you for travel to a club visit. If you're making that club visit, there is a set procedure. I went back through and I have shared that with you in one of the I think it's number 7 or number 8 check-in that had a little bit in there about reimbursement and about where to go to, about the link to go to, and to pull up for the district governor reimbursement policy. That's what you fall under for that reimbursement, and it talks about second and first vice district governor reimbursement in there. So I want to make sure that that and that if you're making official travel to a club in your district, then submit that travel expense claim to Lions International. They're there to they're going to pay you. Now, it may not be as quick as your payment would be coming from your own home district or from your home club, but you will be reimbursed. It normally takes them. It used to take them about 10 days. Now they're running between 2 to 3 weeks on a good schedule. So, but they will reimburse you, but you need to follow their guidelines. They do change every so often, a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it's 50 cents a mile. Your reimbursement, if you stay overnight, you must visit 2 clubs in order to be reimbursed for an overnight stay. You must visit 2 clubs on the same day to do that. They will reimburse up to $100 for a hotel. So again, we all know that that certainly won't pay for the full cost of a hotel, but it does help. And while 50 cents a mile is better than in some, it is good. It's not as good as what the federal government will give you on reimbursement. But Lions, at least we're doing a little bit better than some of the districts are when making that payment. So look at it, use that, and please make sure that if you don't understand how to go about filing a claim with Lions International, ask me. I will walk you through that process. It's easy. We'll get online and do it together. I mean, I'll get on. I'll look at the same form you're looking at, and we'll walk through that form together. If there's something in there that you don't understand.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Sorry. I've been told there's one caveat to that, and that is you cannot claim reimbursement on a club visit if the district governor is visiting that club at the same time.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go back and reread that again.
Okay.
That was last year. I think they've changed it a little bit this year.
That was what my district governor told me. So I'd love to find out that that's not true anymore.
Well, and I'm certainly not going to say that it's not because it was that they had changed it last year. But something I read somewhere that at the beginning, but just before this year started, there was something that I read that changed that. But let me go and review that. And I promise all of you, I will get an answer back to you. It will be in next Thursday's email when I send it out about it. If that caveat is there.
I hope you're correct.
Well,
A follow-up question on that then too, to kind of piggyback on that. My district governor visited a club and made a commitment to be in their parade a month later. And then he couldn't make it, and he asked me to ride in the parade for him.
mhm.
But he thought that maybe if he's already visited the club, then there couldn't be a second club visit.
No,
Yeah.
that whole business there has gone away. You can have as many visits to one club as needed.
You know, that really makes sense. I mean, the more a club is visited and feels a part of a bigger picture, the better, I think. But
And now understand that the budget that a district receives from Lions Clubs International, and folks, I don't know what each one of your individual districts receive in a travel budget from Lions International. They don't provide me with that information. Your district governor should know how much is allocated to the district, but understand that it is a limited amount of money. It's not a open checkbook. So I've not heard of any district of late overspending what the district has been allowed. So I don't know what each one of you have on at your district budget, but yes. If you hear, I'm going to say A. If you hear A behind me say something, Alexa, it's only because she's going to hear me talk to you. But uh, uh, I I think it's great. I agree with you. It's good to make as many visits as you can to a club, but remember, not all those are going to be reimbursable because they're going to end up running out of that money that can be used. So need to spread that out. So just to let you know. There were some questions. I got a question, or I got an email from one of you that said a couple of you were talking about and wanted to know if the schedule for the third Council of Governors meeting is out yet, or when that agenda would be posted. Well, the answer to that question is this. I'm going to give you some information, but it's going to be dated, and I'm going to, so you all know where to go to look for this. But the current sitting council chair is the person who is in charge of developing that agenda and that schedule. And so we have to kind of work within the parameters of past to get an idea of what the future is going to be. So to answer the question, there will be meetings on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in February, and those dates are they are in your calendar for sure that I gave you, but we'll just do it again. That is the 7th, 8th, and 9th of February is when we will be in Kerrville. So your meetings will begin.
I'm looking at the calendar. I'm showing Thursday is the 6th.
I'm sorry, you're correct. Well, the 6th is the Thursday. You're right. 6th, 7th, and 8th. I don't know why I said 7, 8, 9. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 6, 7, and 8. So on that Thursday, the 6th, your first meeting will probably be somewhere around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which will be a second vice district governor workshop. Yes, you're correct, Kevin. It must be submitted by December the 20th for November. So, and where do you find it? If you go to Lions of Texas, texaslions.org, and you go there, and if you go to resources, and underneath the resources, you will click on resources, go all the way down to where it says COG materials, click on COG, and then just follow the prompts. We're the 2024-2025 year. You click on that, and then go to the first Council of Governors meeting, and you can pull up that schedule. That's what I'm looking at. And I can tell you that the schedule will be very similar to what we saw in August. Okay. So what does that mean? Yep, your hospitality suite will begin on Thursday night, the 6th. So you'll have it that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Um, so that's the good thing for y'all. You don't have to be there until, you can be there by noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever the time you want to kind of get there on Thursday. I got to be there Wednesday because I have a meeting at, what time is mine? Mine begins at 12. So, um, well, no, he'll have us meet early. So he'll have us meet early. So so just look at that as your schedule for when you need to be there and plan accordingly. So my question to y'all is, does that answer your question about when you need to be there?
Chris, do we know, are we going to need our dress whites or not?
Good question. And no, you won't. Our speaker is going to be, help me here. Somebody used to work for Texas Lions Camp.
Oh, it's Trish Wilson.
Trish Wilson, yes. No, the only time that we will be in dress white is when we have an international speaker. That will, and when that happens, then yes, we'll be in white. Typically, that February meeting typically is not. We'll be in our jackets, our council uniform jackets. So, good question. New club.
Chris,
Go ahead.
Chris,
I'm sorry.
Cody.
Please.
Is there any rooms available, or do we already have our own block?
No, you'll need to. The only thing that is available, or that is blocked. I don't know if the room's available or not. The only thing that is blocked or that is reserved that I know of for any of y'all is your hospitality suite. I did. When I make my reservation, that room next door goes and is saved for that. What I would highly encourage all of you to do, and I think I've said this before, and if I did not say it, I am sorry. You can shoot me next time you see me. Hopefully it's not with real bullets. When you check out on that Sunday from the YO, tell them you need to reserve your room. If that is the room that you want, that you need to reserve that room for the next council of governors meeting. They will do it for you. They may tell you, well, we won't be able to send you an email till Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. That's fine, but they will make a note, and that goes back to Stacy and the reservation section of the YO. So you can always do that. Every time you check out, you can make your reservation for the next council of governors meeting. Okay. If you do not have a reservation now, pick up the phone and call them to see if you can get a reservation. Okay. I will tell you that you want to make sure that you make your reservations when you check out in February for August, because the summertime in Kerrville, everything is booked. It's hard to get a room. So you want to make sure you get that room now. So you're not surprised when you show up there in February. Is my understanding that the rate has gone up by about $10. They moved that rate from, I think that's $11 from $89 a room to $100 a room. And they've had to do that. They're corporate owned like anybody else. And they came and had a long talk with the current sitting council and with the council chairs about that cost. Actually, they came to the oversight committee, and so they had a long talk with us about they had to raise the rate, and they did this to as cheaply as they possibly could. So I want you all to be aware that there's about an $11 increase in that rate. So sorry, not much we can do about it. So everything has gone up. There's nothing that I can do about Um, any questions? Any questions on that, on the schedule, or on what you're going to wear, or anything along those lines about Kerrville in February?
I assume our fashion police will let us know. Hi, Brian.
I'm just thinking that I'm probably gonna need to make sure that I've told you.
Well,
Yes.
by that time, hopefully we have our long sleeve council shirts that we can wear as well too.
Good God, I hope so, because it's going to be chilly.
I know. And
It is
speaking of
good.
which, just real quick, Chris, I did
Yes,
send everybody the summary today. Please take a look at it. Make sure, thank you, Terry, and send your payments to Miss Terry at your earliest convenience, please.
will do. Got that today. Thank you, Mike, for doing that. Appreciate it. New club development. You know, when all of you started your journey, when we were all, the majority of us got together. I think there's only two of us that weren't in that were not with us and that were not there in Amarillo. We talked a little bit about new club development and about the challenge. You had past international president Brian Sheehan came into the room, chatted with all of you, as a matter of fact, he had a real nice talk with you. Uh, and he kind of let you know about his new role this year, that he would be working with new club development and those kinds of things. And he put a challenge out there. He put a challenge to you. And as a matter of fact, in August, when we were all sitting in the banquet room in Kerrville on that Saturday evening. Uh, oh, that's a good dog bark. I like that one. That's good. You ever heard that?
Yeah,
That's good. I like
Moose.
that. Moose is having a good time.
Yeah, he is.
Brian.
He's
The
playing.
the As we all sat in and listened to our international president Fabricio talk to us, and as he addressed everybody, even in the joint session, he challenged each one of you uh, to forming a new club uh, this year. Not waiting for you to form that new club in 3 years, but form a new club this year. I know that's the challenge, and I'm not going to look at you and say, "Hey, you need to put in a new club." But what I would say to you is, I hope that you're working. I hope that you are working alongside or with your district team as they are working to develop a new club within your district. It's important that you understand the not only the dynamics, but also the steps that are needed and what you have to do in order to form that new club. It's not just saying, "Hey, I got 20 people, let's do this." It's a little bit more complicated than that. There's a little bit more to it. While I would love to see each one of you start a new club this year. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, you got to go out there and do it." I'm gonna say, "Hey, I really challenge you to go out there and do that." But what I will say, I want you to work with your district governor's team in your district's new club development team, and as you work on and as that new club is being put in or working on developing that new club. And for those districts that don't have any idea where that next new club is going to be, maybe you start talking to people in ways to find out where we might find the opportunity for a new club. Talk to your zone chairs. They're the best. They're the best resource you got about where you might be able to put a new club with it in your district. Uh, I can, and even in my district, uh, Steve, I'll be right to you. As I think about my district, I can think of a couple of places, but I bet you I got some zone chairs that could tell me a few places to where we might be able to put a new club in. So, Steve, go right ahead, please.
So does a Leo club qualify as a new club?
No, sir, it does not. A Leo club is a student club. It is not a full-fledged Lions club. While it is great, and we want Leo clubs to be added to, we want Leo clubs to be added because they're needed. they themselves are not they are not considered a new club for the purpose of meeting that requirement. Sorry, I wish I could say yes, but no.
Chris, do branch clubs count?
A branch club is nothing more than a branch, because how many people does it take to form a branch club?
10.
Nope, 5.
5.
5. So, and how many people does it take to form a new club?
20.
20. 20. Branch club is nothing more than just helping hey, I'm a big believer in branch clubs, but all branch clubs do is that they help increase that membership number for the parent club. Okay, because they're while they may be a branch, they are still part of and run and have to report, if you will, to the parent club on what they're doing. So.
Yeah, my understanding too is a branch club can end up turning into a regular club if they end up getting 20 members.
And if they, yes, Chris, but there's also a caveat there. If they want to turn into their own club, and not all branches want to convert. The largest club in the United States is the club out in Seal Beach in California, and that club has 450 members, and it could be a plus or minus on any given day. Okay, of that about 5 or 10 people, but the core club itself is about 150 to 180 people. The rest of it are branch club members. They all have their different branches. They don't want to break off. I mean, it's an interesting concept. It works for them, but not all branches may want to branch out. So but once there is 20, and if they do want to branch out onto their own and become their own separate club, then yes, that's all that's required.
Comment on a branch club. I started one in 2013 at the college level, and to support young people coming and help with our Dogie days and different things. And the reason a branch club works for Dumas Noon Lions is because college students change every semester. Mm-hmm. So very rarely do we get somebody for a whole year, but they want to be a part of the club, or they have been. I haven't checked on it lately, but it was kind of a revolving door. The club is there. There's always a boss lion and all the normal meeting things, but it changes every semester or every year, and the people change within every year. But they have the structure there for people to come through.
I think that it's good for your club. It is good for any club, and it does help. While that structuring of that branch club for your club, Alexa, may not be the way that other clubs may envision a branch, it works for you.
Right. Or any college, I think. If you have a local college to partner with, it would be a good college club.
We have in Ryan's district in E1, they're getting ready to the work has already started on a new campus club there. While I think campus clubs are great, and I was on a meeting the other night, and my comment to this particular group was, this is not Gunstream saying that we need to do away with campus clubs, but because campus clubs are good. But as you just alluded to, campuses are transitory communities. So you never know what you have from one day to the next. And as we take a look at Diane and her district of S3, you have a past district governor by the name of Larkin Smith, who during the 1920 year was a positive, I want to say somewhere a positive 60, 63 as we were heading into the month of December. And then December hits, and what happens? Texas State has a bunch of folks that transferred and folks that graduated, and he went from a positive, I want to say 60, we're just going to say that number is 60, to a negative 30. And he just never could recover. It just took the wind out of his sails. So while campus clubs are great, those numbers count. While they can help you, they can also hurt you, as if you don't have somebody dedicated to the recruitment of new students as they come in. I think the better thought on that is to take a look at doing an Omega Leo club where it will not count as a new club for you, but at the same time, the dues are cheaper for the students. There's not an entry fee that they have to pay, even though as a campus it's half price, but there's not an entry fee that has to be paid. And at the same time, uh, those young people can come and go as they please. So think about that when you're thinking about putting a campus club together. But the branch club is a great way to go, and they help to build membership for the club itself. With all that being said, with all of that we said about for new club development and new club opportunity, beginning in January, I know that you're tired of. I know you're tired of Zoom calls. I know you're tired of Zoom training, uh, or virtual training. Call it whatever you want to call it. We're gonna be asked to participate and you already have been asked to participate in some virtual training that will begin January the 6th, if my memory is right. Yeah, January the 6th. For 3 Mondays, January the 6th, January the 20th, and February the 3rd. For 3 Mondays, beginning at 7 o'clock, there will be a new club, or new growth. I forget what they're calling it. New growth opportunities. It's new club development. It's being put on by Lions International. The good part about it is that they're going to have two people that are going to facilitate this: PID Gary Anderson and PID Justin Faber. Gary will be the main facilitator. He's awesome. When I don't I don't know where none of you, I don't believe, were with us last year in November down. I'm talking about last Lions year, this past Lions year at the offsite in San Angelo. I don't think any of you were there. We went through new club development workshop. Uh, that was the first one they did coming out of the gate. It was presented by facilitator was past council chair Jody Burmeister. Jody was great, but the session was way too long. Yeah, we were there for way too many hours, and uh, while it was great at the beginning, she lost a lot of people at the end. So they condensed this down to 3 sessions. I'm going to say they probably are going to run about an hour and a half. If they run past an hour, they've gone too long, but I think they're going to be about an hour and a half. So please put them on your calendar and put it down. Uh, I can tell you, I know, and it doesn't mean anything to me, and it doesn't mean anything to you, but TJ is going to be looking at that very strongly. He is obviously he's being pushed by people that are above him to make sure that we have good registration from MD2. I think I think it's excellent training for you. And if I didn't think it was good training for you, I'd say, go to it or not. It depends upon if you want to. But I think you need to know what this training, I think you need to know how to start a new club. I only know of, I could be wrong, but I think I only maybe one or two of you that I know off the top of my head that has ever been involved in the formation of and forming a brand new club for Lions and knowing exactly what it takes to put that new club in. So uh, it's well worth your time. Yes, it's going to be more virtual training, but again, if your schedule allow, uh,
One more
excuse
time with the dates.
the dates are January the 6th, January the 20th, excuse me, and February the 3rd.
Thank you.
You betcha, they're all Monday nights. And there'll be another flyer. I'll send the flyer out that I just got today from TJ, so you guys will know it.
I believe you have to register, Chris. Is
You
that
do.
right?
You do have
Yeah.
to register. So again, on that, and there's been a couple of emails that have come out already on it. I'll send that flyer out again that I got from TJ today. You click on it and register, and and they'll send you all the material that they want you to have. I have registered. I will be there with you. So super, Steve. And so I'll be there with you. Hey, I want to thank all of you, by the way. You haven't just been sitting on your hands and just acting like, well, we'll just see what's coming up our way and whatever. I know that you all have been involved and in helping with getting some of these status quo issues that we have with clubs that have been placed on status quo for non-payment of dues. I know you have been busy and working with your district governor and with the clubs in getting that and helping to get that done. Thank you. The list is reducing. It's going down. MD2 looks pretty good. When I say pretty good, we still have about 20 clubs that still, this was as of yesterday, 20 clubs that still need to pay. But I feel very sure that a number of those clubs, the checks just haven't been posted yet. And so that number will come down. I will forward to all of you, probably be, this is one of those emails you'll get that will be an additional email to my Thursday email. I'll either do it tomorrow or I'll do it on Monday, but I will forward you the latest, probably tomorrow. I'll send you the updated spreadsheet that has the list of clubs that still are on that are showing as being status quo. But we're making good headway. We're making good progress. I mean, Texas is a plus 450 right now. I would like to have seen us be somewhere around a plus 500 as we went into the month of December. But we're doing pretty good. And if we can, even if we lost those 20 clubs, even if we lost those 20 clubs, we would still be a little over a plus 200. So we're making way. We're making progress, but we don't want to lose that many clubs, and it's just too hard to get them back. Any questions or any comments on the clubs that are on status quo?
I don't know how loud I should be about this, but we
as loud as you want to be.
I don't need a microphone. We have some clubs that we've been trying to work with them. They're down to 2-3 members.
Mm-hmm.
They've said they don't want help. And so we are not looking at salvaging them. We're looking at using those areas for opportunities for new clubs.
Perfect.
That's it. So we have 3 of those. We have one that's got 1 member, but they want to stay.
They wait till the very last minute to pay.
That's right. So that clears up. We had, I think, 8 to start with, and so the only one that we're still working on is the one that will probably pay at the last moment. They may have a problem doing it electronically. We had another problem with one of those, but the three clubs that we're losing, we're only losing 8 people.
So that's not bad.
You're right. It's not. And we've salvaged over 100 from clubs that we've gotten them to pay.
Jared and I have a club down in our district that has a grand total of 6 people who we thought were not going to pay. They have finally decided they're going to pay. I think while it's great that we didn't lose that club, we're not going to gain anything by the club staying either. I mean, they're just a non-functioning, non-helpful or non-servicing club. So we'll let them do the thing and try to see if we can transfer some of the ones that really want to be aligned to another club. But we all have that issue, and it's okay to let those clubs go. It is okay to let them go. Hate to see them go for non-payment of dues, but sometimes the better part of valor is just to let them die. Have you guys made a decision on what you're going to do on your council fundraising board? Okay. it's none of my, none of my business. I brought that to you. I brought that to you only as a means, and maybe we didn't explain it as well as I thought I thought we did. Uh, but the idea of that board was to not have it as being a council board where we just were doing one or maybe doing two. The idea was to have each one of the districts go out and do one of those boards. And it was to help provide some additional funds to the council for the international convention when we have to move our way going to Hong Kong. And then some of that money would have been left over, as a majority of us are going to have to turn back around the next year and go to Washington, D.C. as we go out, because we will be involved with some certain activities that the outgoing council is involved with. And not all of you will have to go. There'll be some, but some thought was that maybe that would help with spouse travel. Maybe that would help with whatever kind of funding that might be needed to help the council do the council business. Because as you all know, funds are limited within the state of Texas to the budget that we have for MD2. You guys decide what you want to do with your board. If you don't want to move forward with it, then maybe we just let it die a natural death. I don't. It was just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. You guys decide. Only thing that I ask is, once the decision is made, please let me know what that decision is. Okay, so I know, so I can check that off my list. So if I'm asked about whatever happened, I can at least answer that question. One last thing that I had a couple more on here, but only one that I really want to bring up. Two. I'm sorry, I got two. GAT area leader call. GAT area 1A calls. That Zoom meeting is the last Tuesday of every month. The last Tuesday of every month, with the exception of December, because that TJ is not going to hold one in December. That is PIDTJ's GAT call. You, as a second vice district governor, are part of the global action team. You were part of the district governor's team. While it's not necessarily mandatory that you have to be on that call, I think it's good for you to be there. I think it's good for you to show your face on that call. I think it's good for you to hear the information that is being passed to your district governor from the GAT area leader, because sometimes that information doesn't get to you. It just doesn't get passed along. Not because the district governor doesn't want to pass it along to you. There's a lot on that DG's plate, and believe me, it's going to be a lot on your plate when you become a district governor. So that may just be something that's coming along that they just don't get a chance to pass on to you. I would encourage you, if you can, to try to be in attendance at that Zoom meeting. They're at 6 o'clock in the evenings on that last Tuesday of the month. If you are not getting the link to that, let me know. I will make sure that you get that link. I will turn that around and make sure that you get it. So please, if you're not, let me know. And the last thing that I have is, I sent out in my email that I sent you this past Thursday, and I mean it. I want you all to send me some information on any issues that you had through the second vice district governor training that you all the virtual training you all just went through in November. I know Diane had an issue, which I thought was crazy, Diane, when you sent me that information. I knew what you were saying, but I just had to hear it one more time, because it just was inconceivable to me that you've already gone through the training, and just this past week you got an email that said, hey, here's your head, heart, and guts information, and oh, by the way, here's your password to go in and open it up and be prepared for your class coming up. Right. A month after it's all over, said and done with.
Right.
You all are the guinea pigs. This group of second vice district governors for this year, all across the world, are the guinea pigs for this new training that has taken place for that was done. And I guess Limitless was the company that did this. If you had issues, if there's something that you felt could be improved, I know that you've been asked that already in the survey. I'm good. I don't know how much that survey from Limitless is going to get back to Lions Clubs International, number one. And number two, I have some, hey, there's nothing here that I'm going to say that other people may not, that other people would say. I'm not real sure that the folks that it's going to get back to at LCI staff are the ones that it needs to get to begin with. I want to make sure it gets to the board of directors, and I want to make sure it gets to the board, to the training, to the ID that is in charge of training. So I know that person. I would like to have your feedback on it so we can make sure what can we do for the next second vice district governor class that can improve this to make it better for them. Was it being condensed the way it was? Was that too restrictive on your time? Were you able to prepare for each lesson as they came up? If they spread it out, would it be, how far out would you recommend? Any of those kinds of things. The information that you're being provided, is that information that you found to be relevant, that you found to be of substance for you as a second vice district governor going through these stages to become a first and to become a district governor? Think of it in the terms of what will make it better for the people following you. Okay. And please, I don't care if you send me an email and tell me that was the worst damn thing I ever sat through in my entire life. That's okay. You can do that. I would like for you to put a little more substance to it than that. I don't need a book, but I would like to have your thoughts on it. So please, if you would take the time to do that. Now, there's all my 45 or 50 minutes worth of crap that I've thrown out at you. I open it up to you guys. What is it that you need? Is there anything that you need from me, that you need from the state, that you need from whoever? Let me know, and we'll make sure that happens. Or what is it that you just want to talk about or share?
Chris, this is Cody.
Yeah, Cody.
Okay, I want to thank you very much for getting that reimbursed check and taking care of it. And I got it. So I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And
sorry, you didn't get it to begin with.
Yeah. And the second is, can we start that program in October instead of November?
You put that into an email to me, Cody.
Okay.
Okay. I'm asking because I'm not going to sit here and write all this stuff out. I don't want to take everybody's time out for doing that. But put into an email. You can start it.
Yes,
as far as I'm concerned, you guys can start that whenever you want. So if I thought November was a bad time to begin it anyway. So I have to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, you had your hand up. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is really our last council of governors meeting before we go to state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we as a council need to decide or start deciding because about the gift idea for next year.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So that needs to be really getting decided because everything's going to have to be ordered over the summer to be ready to go in August.
And you know what? Thank you for bringing that up, Terry. You are exactly correct. One of the things two things you need to decide on in February. That will be on the agenda. It's on my list of agenda items for you. Mm-hmm. But two things that you're going to need to decide on is, number one, what do you want to do? Do you want to take them out to dinner, or do you want to feed them? in other words, prepare a meal for them. There are places around Kerrville that you can do that are great venues that I don't think are very expensive. Number one. Number two, and what kind of gifts do you want to give them? Do you want to give them like what you got this past year? Do you want to do something that may have been done in years past? You want to try, you want to do something, So yes, you need to, those are a couple of things y'all need to think about. And uh, while we're on this call and you bringing that up at this time, yes, we're going to talk about it in February, but it wouldn't be a bad idea if you guys start talking about it now.
Well, I think our leader, Jared Wilson, was put in charge of it. Jared?
Yes, absolutely. We have a good path forward, and we've already
That
decided.
sounds like a good. You sound like a good soft shoe talk coming on here. That good path forward. I love that.
Yeah, we've got it all situated and settled and in the works. So
you've had a meeting and I wasn't invited.
All I can say is prepare.
I was on your list.
Prepare to don your chef's apron. The reason why we haven't had a meeting is because there was some delay in getting back from the camp. But anyway, Stephen's got some personal issues going on that delayed his response to me. But we've got a path forward and a good idea. Kim and I have kind of talked about how to approach the council with that. So more to come soon on that.
Okay.
I just thought I'd throw you under the bus.
I don't care.
You did well.
Bus, it doesn't matter.
I know what you were doing. You were trying to make sure to see if he was listening or not. If he had just had his picture up there, that was
I know. I figured he was just sitting in his recliner.
No, I'm sitting in Dark Cafe at Shangri-La because I'm out here at Christmas stroll and I'm trying to find the most quiet place I can hide.
Wow.
Hey, it looks like it's been going pretty well out there too, Jared.
It has. We've been having a blast. We've been working our tail off, but we've got another week left of it. So I'll be glad when the 21st comes.
No doubt. But that's a good thing for the Orange Lions Club. It's good fundraiser, but more than anything, it's also good PR for the club.
I was just looking back, Jared, is your committee also going to talk about the gift, or do we need to have another group on that?
I don't know that was explicitly in my purview. I will be happy to take that on if anybody wants to join, but
I was going to
well trained.
Suggest that Second Vice District Governor Terry, since she brought up the matter, would be the chairman of that subcommittee. You know, the one rule, guys, you guys understand, if you bring up a subject, you are volunteering to lead that effort. That's a council rule. So
that's a given.
Okay, Mike. Fair game.
What else do you guys got? What's on your mind? Anything else that you got on your minds?
Can somebody tell me real quick where to go on LCI to find the spreadsheet with all the district goals for all the districts?
Well, you won't find it from LCI. You won't find it from LCI website, but I will. If you will go to www.lionsclubs.org/reports. I will send you a link, Brian.
Okay, I appreciate that.
What that does, that will you when you click on that, it's going to say it's not a secure site. It's all right. I've been using it for 6-7 years now, and nothing's bombarded me yet. But what it does, it takes you to a report section that you can get all that information plus a plethora of other things. But yeah,
I know when you and I worked on the GAT together, there was a whole lot of spreadsheets that you could get to, and I just can't figure out how to get to them anymore.
I'll send you that link.
Thank you.
And if any of you don't know, if any of you need that link, let me know. I was
going to suggest Chris sending it to everybody.
I'll send it to everybody. I'll just send it to everybody. So I'll do that tonight after we're off this call. Anything else? Well, I tell you, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, has anybody got any fun holiday plans coming up?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
Be
were
traveling to Austin to see my family. Or not in Austin,
oh,
New Braunfels. My brother, sister-in-law live in New Braunfels. I'll get to go down Christmas Day or Christmas Eve and help them build all the kids' toys and play Santa for the night. Go to bed
Very
at 2 o'clock in the morning and then have to wake up at 5 because the kids are ready to open their gifts. So
wow.
that's what I'm doing.
Hey, Chris, I
Yes.
didn't hear anything on the club health assessment. Did I miss that?
I didn't. We were running out of time on it, but I'll just real quickly. All of you during your training, I think you had a session that was on club health assessment, right?
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
Believe it or not, that is a what I refer to as a bad boy tool. I mean that thing is just an amazing tool for you to use.
Yeah.
It gives you a quick look. Yeah, Terry, it gives you a quick look. I mean, you look at that thing, you can see instantly those clubs that are not membership active. I mean, that have not brought in a new member all year, or you know, I hate to say it, if they've lost somebody, at least I look at that as being membership active. Something's happening in membership. But if you go back and you can go back and take a look, I'll sit on this link I send you. You can download information on the club health assessment that will go back probably 15, 17 years, something like that back. So you can go back in time and see how many years has it been that a club has not had one new member they've added. I mean, you'll be amazed at some of that. Also, on the far right hand side, because I don't help me now because I don't know if you get this yet. Are you getting the district governor recap report on a monthly
We are.
basis?
We
Yeah.
are.
Yes,
Yes.
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 That one is sometimes fairly it's a hit and miss on being up to date. So in other words, you
It's
never
more
know.
miss than hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It is more miss than hit. But if you take a look on that on your club health assessment on the far right hand side, you'll start seeing some red numbers that are over there. Those are clubs that are now that are getting close to being in trouble. That owe dues. It has that dues column over there. But that recap report that you get is one that is, look at that. That will kind of help lead you to the point of saying, hey, maybe I need to check to make sure this club has paid their dues. But again, we go back to that club health assessment. Look at the number of clubs within your district that have not reported service, much less in the last 12 months or 24 months. Do you have any clubs that have NR on there? NR means they've never reported since we moved over from paper to digital or to online.
But Chris,
Yes.
I find that it is so slow updating.
What, service?
No, the numbers for membership.
Oh, and on the portal, it should not. The portal is.
It is.
If
I
it's
mean, I can go right now on my club. We have over 105 members. If I go to the club health assessments, which I just got, it says 98. It's not accurate.
Well, no,
and I don't understand
you're,
why it's so slow.
Well, Steve, your club health assessment, or you may have 105 today. That health assessment that you're looking at is on the period that ended 30 November.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
And, all right. Then I cannot. Then there is something truly wrong in the reporting somewhere along the lines, because I can, at my district or at some other, or even at some other in the clubs in my district, we've not seen that kind of lag. So I'm not saying
I'm also the club administrator. I can go in there today and see exactly what we're reporting. I know what it is, but the club health assessment is not accurate.
I'll take a look. I have access to all of you. So let me go in and see what might be an issue there. Okay. I'll try to find out. I mean that, Steve. I'll try to see what the issue is. If it
And
truly is because, go ahead.
I've seen this for several months in a row now. Because my club, the Columbus Club, is growing every month. And it's amazing. The club wants to see that on the club health assessment report. They want to see that, and we're not seeing it.
Is it lagging a month behind? Is it 2 months behind? Is it not
There's no
updated at all?
correlation. I can't figure it out.
Okay.
I'm going to make a comment, but I'm not saying this is happening. Okay. So please don't shoot me yet. All right. And if you do want to shoot me, make sure it's with marshmallow bullets and not real ones. Steve, what I have seen in the past, and I'm only going upon experience and what I've looked at. Okay. I've not looked at Columbus. But typically what happens is when we have that misstep is that the reporting of new members are not going in as quickly as some members may think it's going in. In other words, secretary may not be reporting those as they are being brought into the club. I'm not saying that that's happening in your club.
It's not happening in my club because I know I'm the club administrator and my wife is the club secretary. I know how it's been reported.
I understand what you're saying, Steve, and that's why I put a caveat there. Please don't get pissed off at me because all I'm trying to do is try to figure out what's going on, man.
Well, what I'm trying to say to the group about the club health assessment is not as accurate as you might think it is.
I don't agree with you, and I will have to find out why yours is not. I don't agree with that statement because it's been accurate every time I've looked at it for my club, for my district, for the last 10 years.
I want it to be accurate, but it's not.
Okay. There's a reason that it's not for your club, and we need to find out, what that reason is. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I don't know if it's a problem with the portal, making a migration from the portal over to the report section that does that, but we need to find out what that is. If that, and I would ask all of you to take a look at not only your clubs, but take a look at your district. And if you're having that very same problem, then we even with just one club not being accurate, Steve, I will try to find out what's going on, and we will try to figure out how to solve the problem. But we need to make sure that it is accurate, because that is in my opinion, one of the best tools that we have out there to tell us about what's going on with the clubs within a district. It just is.
Steve, can you get a copy of your roster off
Absolutely.
LCI?
I can go right now and go to my club and get a complete roster.
Okay, so you can come up with a list of people that are not in LCI.
I can get a complete list.
But I guess where I'm going is, if you can forward that list to LCI and ask them why they're not entered, that gives them something specific to work with.
Just one thing I was going to mention just real quick, and I don't know that this is an issue for you, Steve, but keep in mind when we get those reports, they are as of the end of the prior month. So you don't get those in a timely manner. You get those at the end of the prior month. So keep that in mind as well, too, because I think there's a 1 or 2 week lag between when we get those reports. I just got mine, I believe, earlier this week, and they were as of November 30th.
Right. Tip, they used to be able to get that report about the second or third day of the beginning of the month.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken a little bit longer, I guess, because of the portal. The portal they're having a hard time getting migration over. Steve, what I'm going to do after our phone call this evening, I'm going to go and take a look at I want to take a look at your club health assessment for
Please do.
I'm going to go and take a look, and I want to compare that to the portal. I want to try to find out where is where is the lag, and then you've got an issue and we need to solve that issue. I don't need you being upset with the information you're getting from Lions Clubs International, and I don't want you to think that what you're getting from them is not as accurate as they can make it. So I'm not, and I don't take your concern lightly, but I don't. We will try to find a way to either fix it or find a way that what the problem is. I mean, there's got to be a reason. So we need to find that reason, right? So I will certainly work to do whatever I can to help you or to help find out what that problem is. Don't know if I'm going to be able to solve it, but I can certainly help try to find out what the problem is.
And I hope you do find it. I don't think the problem's on this end.
I didn't say that. And I said it at the very beginning of when I started the conversation. I'm not saying this is happening at your club. I said it's from experience. So I put a caveat there. All right. I didn't say it was your club. Okay? Yeah.
All right, it's game time. Columbus has already kicked off.
All right. I pissed Steve off, so I guess it's time for us to go.
Just remind Steve that he better not blame the club secretary.
I can't blame the club secretary.
I heard it was his wife. Oh.
I can't do that.
She's a sweet lady.
That's right.
Not in Live at Home, you can't.
That's right. All right, go Cardinals.
We know how good LCI is with paperwork.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we really know that.
Yeah, just ask Jared. He is as frustrated as the day is long with their handling of paperwork. Folks, I want to tell you, I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a very happy, safe, healthy, and as I like to say, prosperous new year coming in. Please take the time to enjoy this time with your family. Hold them close and dear, and enjoy this holiday season. Because you come out of the gate starting in January, you're going to hit the ground running again, and it's going to be a fever pitched race as we get to the end of this year or to the end of the next Lions year. So have fun with this holiday time, and if I can help in any way, I'll certainly let me know whatever you need from me to help with you in the Lions work. But again, I wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas. I do not have an adult beverage, but I'm raising a glass to you and saying Merry Christmas to everybody. And I hope that all of you have a great time. Okay?
Don't forget
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
God
bless you all.
Chris,
Jerry?
don't forget to send us that Zoom training so we can register.
Right. We'll do. I'll send that. I'll put that into an email. I'll just send that tonight along with that link. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You bet. Thank
Bye,
you, everybody.
everybody.
Let me end
Merry
recording.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.